thought you ever long for more than you've got. 'Cause baby, you've got you and me. I'm gonna hold you tight through the night. The bed bugs better hope that I don't bite while you're counting sheep in your head. It's time to hit the sack, kapow attack, smack those troubles down, KO they're down. 1, 2, 3 a.m. Or is it midnight still? The window sills a million miles away, but your lucky star, he's here for sure. Down beneath the sheets, the world is yours to conquer. Won't be long, dear. I'm the king and you're the pawn. We're a perfect pair. Girl, you made the right mistake. Choose me instead of constant heartbreak. Now let's raise the stakes for when you earned it. Ask for any wish I wanted. Grant a word for word I promise. Baby, that's the charm you got in me. Yes. Don't you be afraid. In just a moment's time, you wonder why you ever thought you ever long for more than you've got. 'Cause baby, you've got you and me. Buckle up tonight. You wanna get away, forget it, baby. Got you in my sights, stained in the dirt. They don't ever learn. Hell, for heaven's sake, in just a moment's time, you wonder why you ever thought you ever long for more than you've got. 'Cause baby, you've got you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun, so what are we doing today? Today, I'm going to attempt to get done with Fist of Chaos. That is the goal for today. Is it a little bit lofty? Yes. Will I attempt it? Of course. You know, it's not a Notepad Must Die, because there isn't actually that much left to do. It's kind of that odd situation where there isn't that much actually to do left. It's just a lot of little stuff, really. One of those being equipment. Now, equipment was always kind of a tacked on part of this, mostly due to the fact of how I wanted to handle it. Because turns out weapons hurt. And getting stabbed in the chest with a knife is a pretty damn good way of losing a fight. So you kind of regulated weapons to be kind of a very powerful but very situational tool. However, we have to obviously change that, mostly to accommodate anime fighters. It's gonna be like half this fucking document at this point. In accommodating anime fighters. So let's see. Warrior's truths, weapons, body. Most reliable is this technique. How normal people. Equipment split between dangerous strikes and deadly blows. Weapons. Weapons are powerful and dangerous when to be employed. I'm going to actually change this. Are plentiful and dangerous. Ew. Able to turn the tide of any battle with in the right hands. Fighter uses a when fighter uses a weapon. When the fighter uses a weapon, the equipped arm, the arms using it, and using it cannot be used for moves or basic strikes. The idea being as I am using a sword, I am using I'm using a weapon to beat you with. I'm not going to be punching you exactly because why use a knife when why use my fist when I have a knife? If I'm using a knife, I'm most likely going to attempt to use the knife. Fighter uses the weapon, the hand user it cannot be used for moves or basic strikes. Hello, Buzzo. I use Buzzo for this because I always view him as being. I like the armor. I like the look of him. He always seemed menacing. Buzzo is also one of my favorite antagonists ever because he's really fun and kind of a dick. You hate him, but you understand him. So let me. Oh God, clicking the wrong button is what I'm going to do. So weapons. Actually, do I make that a side note? Half of me wants to make it a side note. No, I'm not going to make it a side note, but I will put it here. I should put it here, shouldn't I? Pretty much the idea is I want to make a scale, effectively, from anime to reality. The idea being that anime weapons don't actually do much. Yeah, I stabbed you with my great sword. However, because this is an anime fighter, you just get knocked back slightly. There's a reason like half the fucking Guilty Gear cast can use horrifyingly deadly weapons and do no damage to each other. Well, reality is weapons do quite a bit. Yeah, so weapons don't matter. Reality, weapons do matter. Fists of Chaos I want to be about like right here. So it's that's kind of the issue I'm looking at right here. I'm also drinking tea because it is very late. Oh God, my back. Mm-hmm. Oh. Let's see, what do I actually want to do? How do I want to do that? I feel like I have to make it just a side note later on. I think that's probably the best option. Oh, not the best, but kind of the only thing I can think of at the top of my head right now. So, the edge weapon is a tool. Cut or cleave. Offender's body. They are deadly and can quickly turn the tide. Turn the tide. Every edge weapon. How do I want to word this? Unless I just... You know what? I could just remove the durability system. That's actually not a terrible idea. Because the idea behind the durability system was I need a way to make things scary. Actually, quickly turn to every edge weapon. Every edge weapon will immediately reduce a limb to 0 health, crippling it. If attacked again, the limb is destroyed. Limb is broken. Is broken and severed. It's the idea of I'm literally going to chop your fucking arm off right now, or something similar. Unless I want to do... Actually, here's what I can do. Let's change edge weapons up a little bit. We'll make them the idea of... Let's see. Can quickly turn the tide. Turn it. And can quickly turn. Hit be delivered. Every edged weapon. So every edged weapon has a set damage number after any attack. Has a set damage number. When the attack is successful, that limb struck is considered to be bleeding. And bleeding reduces, so if we go to actually status effects, bleeding did lose 5 health to the bleeding limb until it is fixed. I actually added a bunch of new status effects. Hello, Dan, the strongest Street Fighter character. So let's see. Ooh. So that should work for bleeding. The attack is successful and struck is considered to be bleeding. So we scrap the durability idea. Oh boy, that's not how we wanted to do things. Let's do that. Insert column right. There we go. Okay, well, I will do damage. 9s are going to do a flat 6. If we base the sword, a basic sword around 10, great sword's going to do. We'll bump it up by 2. I'm getting hit by a great sword. I'm being hit by a giant fuck off weapon that's going to kill me. 10 spears, we're going to be doing 8. Rapier, we're going to be doing 8. Saber, we're going to be doing 10. 8. Bump rapier up to 12. Axe will do 14. Great axe will do 28. The idea being that it is a giant fuck off axe. I'm going to chop your head off. I am going to chop your face off. I am going to attempt to kill you. And actually what we'll do is put hands here. 1, 1, 2. 2 rapiers require 1, hand sabers require 1, axes require 1, and great axes require 2. And let's go to our very special folder, otherwise known as the lexicon, and then we get to go to I need weapons. I need weapons. Weapons. Yeah, we're gonna be using this one later. List of weapons and stuff. Actually, even better, let's go to Soul Calibur. Every single Soul Calibur character. Let's go. Oh god, hi Bing. Okay, Bing, we can stop using you now. Alright. To give you how many goddamn Soul Calibur characters there are a lot of Soul Calibur characters. Oh god, actually, we have the Soul Calibur wiki. No, wiki. I just want the wiki. I want every single character and figure out what characters. There we go. Go away, please. It's characters. Because I just want to know what weapons everybody is using. That's all I want to know. Whip. Siegfried uses sword, saber. Whatever the fuck you're using. I guess I can add a short sword. Okay, I'm gonna scrap you real fast. Blow, short sword. So if we use most going off 8. We'll use sealable turn. God, I forgot how many. God. Soul Edge, Soul Edge, Soul Edge. God, I forgot how many fucking characters there are. Well, let's just hop in on a completely random one. Hello, Maxie. Looks like you use... Okay, so we are using that mostly. Silver, yeah, weapon and style, silver soul. Let's see. Right now, I'm just looking at weapons. I'm like, what weapons can people use? That's an umbrella. That's just a fucking umbrella. You know, no. Go away right now. List of weapons and stuff. Let's see what. Let's see. We already have staves. We don't need to worry about guns. Only guns. No god, only gun. So we have all our equipment here. Tackle, crossbow, shortbow. Let's see. I guess we really don't have that much to work with. I guess there's only so many ways you can say sword and something. Sword. I guess we can put it like a naginata and just get a good idea of what one's gonna look like. Naginata. So let's see. Spear's gonna do 8 damage. 12 will bump it up to 16. 2. Pierce 1. But no pad. Why would you want to use weapons other than that? Because you're not a bitch. You use a real weapon, i.e. your fists. Only real people use their fists, unless you're not a real person, and then you're probably some kind of anime character. And none of us want that. 0.5. To beast mode. To our spreadsheet. Spreadsheet save lives, kids. I meme a lot that I hate making charts and such. And I do. Like, don't get me wrong. I really hate making charts. But they're very useful. So we want to create a filter. No, we don't want to do that. We want to select everything. Table properties. Vertical middle. Archive 012. There we go. Blunt weapons. So, what do blunt weapons do? Swinging and breaking fragile bones. Often these tools lack the direct killing force of an edge weaponry, but still pack a significant punch. What I actually should put, maybe the damage reduction's a lot higher. Actually, yeah, that would be actually a pretty good dynamic. Edged weapons. Damage. Edged weapons will always do half damage against armor before applying their damage to it. So we put a footnote in here, for example. They're wearing armor. They're wearing armor of 3. I will only do 4 damage. As it's been reduced by half, down to 7, and reduced by 3. However, that's kind of the back and forth with edged weapons. Then edged weapons can do a lot of damage to an exposed part unless they are wearing armor, and then they're going to be doing a lot less damage. However, it's kind of its own benefit, because hey, I can, if you're wearing a lot of armor, you're going a lot slower. However, on the other, which is bad for you. While on the other hand, it's, hey, I have, less. I'm using an edge weapon, but I'm not going to be doing hardly any damage to you, But, you're just going slower, so it's trade-offs. That's all it is, trade-offs. Oh, God, it feels good. Ratchet my foot. So, gosh, that's quite a... Yeah, I forgot I put a chair in here for some reason. So... we don't need to worry about durability, really, because we're not worrying about that. So, blunt weapons use often these tools lack direct killing force of an edge weapon, but still pack a significant punch. Adds a dice value. Each blunt weapon, I should say, each blunt weapon is a dice value plus a attribute from the character. Attribute from the fighter. Signify the initial strength to use such a tool. So, let me see. Okay, don't need to use. So, our blunt weapon would be... So, our base damage... And then we'll use attributes. Then we'll need to... probably put in the hands category right here. Staff requires 2, club 1, hammer 1, warhammer 2, chair 2, gauntlet 1. So our base damage for a staff is going to be D6. That's going to be our baseline. It's going to be D4, D8, D12. Chair is going to be D8. Yeah, we'll call it D8. And gauntlet's going to be D4. Attributes: strength, toughness, or tech. We'll actually call that a fist weapon. Chair, we'll call that improvised. Chair is going to be almost entirely reliant on strength. You don't need technique where we're going. It's going to be toughness plus. It'd be strength plus toughness. Hammer would be entirely strength plus tech, probably. Just strength plus tech. And let's see, staff, we'll actually call it long range, which I should actually add into here. What we're going to need for long range, the idea, we'll sub out the pierce for long range instead. Same goes for the spear. And that's just going to allow you to attack from farther away, which is very valuable. Fun fact. So we've got all this. Feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? gets like a ball and chain. Yeah, I can throw that in there. Why not? Fuck it. We're living on the edge. Or we'll actually throw in the awkward tag. And, you know, it'd be awkward and... What did I put? Yeah, no, we'll just give it awkward. Make it just an awkward weapon to use because they are awkward to use. We'll give them an iron tip spear as well. Give them a base D8, strength plus tech, hands 2, long range, just to get an idea of your various different kinds of things. And that's on purpose, because the big thing is you can apply these to anything. If you want to build your entire style around using a staff, go for it. That's fine. That's Gucci. There we go. Actually, how big are you? You are 1. So we're going to select all of you. Table properties 1. How big is tags? Tags is not big. It's 1.5. No, go away. I don't need help. Well, I do need help, but in a different way. There we go. People are chatting. Give me 1 second. I'm in the zone. Oh, almost done with my tea. I'm going to get myself another cup. Another cuppa. So... points of armor. Edged is no longer a thing, so we're making you go away. Two-handed is no longer a tag, because why the fuck would it be? We have the hands section. What we need to add is awkward. The fighter ticks. Inside or in a cramped space. Because you are hitting shit and things aren't working. Actually, what I can do is Warhammer. We'll give it a news tag. We'll call it destructive. Destructive. Tool of destruction. The fighter does not need to roll to destroy breakable walls or locations. All enemies hit. All enemies hit by the weapon are moved 1 hex. I'm getting shoved around because I'm being hit by a giant fuck-off hammer. It's astounding what that does. Do I get ball and chain destructive? Yeah, I I should give it destructive. That'd be appropriate. So we need to give improvise the tag, improvise the weapon is improvised, and after its first use, break. So the idea is like, oh, I'm getting a chair, I'm going to slam this chair over your head, do some damage right away, and then immediately hop into my awesome combo, because I am cool. Long range. Target's up to 2 hexes away. So if it's 2 hexes away, 2 hexes away from the fighter. Fist weapon. Weapon is considered to be a natural extension of the fighter's fist, allowing them to use their fist for moves. Okay, if we do that, pierce 1, graceful, long range, concealable, pierced. Yeah, alright. I think that works. It also opens up for a lot of people who want to make their own weapons and such, that they can kind of do their own thing with it. Being like, okay, I want a weapon that does, you know, this. I want a weapon that does that. Like, that's fine. That's great. I like it when people make their own stuff. That's the reason why, like, 95% of, you know, things I do is like, yes, make your own shit. I am lazy and I don't want to. Make your own things that you want to see. Bad game design? Probably. Do I really care? Not at all, because people are going to do what they want. It's not your game the second it gets into the hands of another person. It's theirs. They're going to do whatever the hell they want with it. For better or for worse, I should say. Armor. Armor is a defensive system. Notepad, what were you smoking when you wrote this? Fire to negate damage. Help them survive dangerous blows. Blows that would kill them. Every piece of armor has a damage resistance, DR value, that reduces the damage taken by that specific limb. Each piece of armor also has an armor penalty. Increase the total amount of stamina available to that character. Yeah, we can actually probably reduce that down to a little bit. Armor penalty, AP. That reduces the total amount of stamina the character has. Heavier armor you're wearing, that means the less things you're going to be able to do specifically, and the more easily you're going to get exhausted. So none, basic 1, 2, 4, 6, I think. Damage resistance 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? You. But when a character has 0 stamina to do anything, you limit a certain amount of armor tied to it, but the penalty stacks everywhere. So having a heavy armor is going to be valuable unless you're redirecting attack to that specific arm. Plan ahead, don't become a walking tin can. Is there more I could do here? Absolutely. Is there anything I want to do more here? Absolutely not, because I think this works just the way I want it to work. I don't want people wearing armor. Armor, not fun. Armor isn't martial art. Well, it is martial art, but not as martial arty as I would like. You don't see Ryu showing up with a fucking plate, you know, with a chainmail arm. No, you see him in his gi. Yeah, his gi. So, okay, we've got all that. Yeah, we're done with equipment. Like, overall, like, I could patch armor up to do other things, but I don't really feel it's appropriate. Like, why bother doing that? Slap some Soul Calibur art down here. It'll work. It'll be Gooch. So, advancement, incremental. So, it actually can only be done once. Learned. A character naturally growth experience. Choose begin learning their new tool for their arsenal, gradually experiencing and having taught to them. Facts of 5 things they are currently learning. Well, each kind of learning takes a different amount of time enough to learn. Every time a character uses attack file or learns about a certain topic, they will gather knowledge. Specific moves, utilities, or keywords. Tier value times 5 knowledge. Yeah. I honestly don't really need to do anything here. It's kind of awkward, but it works for what it is. It's a game about learning things. That's what the game is about. Let's see. Let's just double check everything here. Brawls work. All right, I'm actually gonna put in the footnote about equipment. I can probably put it right here. So, side note. We'll call it the anime sword conundrum. Give me one moment. I'm gonna make myself another thing of tea. Everyone likes tea. More specifically, Prince of Wales tea. Because I have all this tea and I need to use it, but I'm lazy and don't make tea that often. So I'm drinking it now. Let that seep for a minute. So, the anime sword conundrum. What is the anime sword conundrum? The anime fighters have characters using massive weapons that do massive damage by doing a single point of damage. By doing the same amount of damage as someone else's is light overhead. Actually, so anime fighters tend to have characters using larger weapons or weapons in general, but not really striking the deadly blow as presented here. Fists of Chaos tends to lean a bit more on the far side of anime fighters go, but if you wish to include all of the various anime fighting tropes, consider the following. And what we'll do is we're going to make a list, and all weapons have a die value ranging from D4 to D12, signifying their damage. All moves can be used by having a weapon, signifying their damage to all basic strikes. All moves can be used while having a weapon. Actually, if we really want, or value ranging from 2 to 10 to signify their damage. All moves can be used while having a weapon. And let's see what else. Okay. See, weapons are an actual to edged weapon. Half damage armor clause. The half damage armor clause does not apply. For example, I'm using a great sword. It is using these systems. A D12 weapon, a D12/8 damage weapon. That should be D10 plus 8 damage weapon. That just augments my already dangerous person. There we go. That's how I solve the anime sword conundrum. I'll take my thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and we've learned today that anime was a mistake. Coming from someone who actually likes anime. But I haven't been watching anything, actually. Nothing has really jumped out at me being like, it's time to watch some anime. It's like, oh, it's cute girls doing cute things again. Oh boy. Oh boy, time for that. Time to do this now. I need to... Where is it? I should add biking, you are biking there. So what I'm actually going to do is I put in the side note for where do I put this? Unless I make parasol go away. And then add it here, but where would I put parasol? So I like this image. Let's stick you right there, maybe? Nah, it's guns. Guns aren't really being what we're using here. I might just have to scrap it. Sucks, but I need to put in that side note. I guess I have another. I guess I have another parasol, so I don't want to worry about that too much. So, side note: anime fighters. One man. And that's to address this small part. Anime fighter are a distinct subset of fighters fighting games that have come to dominate. They have come to dominate the fighting game sphere, mostly due to the larger than life characters and the fact there's flashy moves and dangerous looking attacks. If you're running a anime fighter inspired game, consult the following. The air dash. Air dash is important. Air dash is nice. We like air dashing. So what are we going to do for air dashing? Air dash, we'll put that into the offensive. Actually, what we're going to do, go airborne. Offensive. The fighter. What's up? They can only attack high. Hello. But cannot be countered unless with an anti-air. Air dash. The fighter currently in the air can move 2 hexes of their choice during the movement. During the time they are airborne. And we'll select the anti-air, defensive. The fighter attempts a tech OC. Again, I tech OC against actually it'd be a Finn versus tech. It'd be tech versus Finn OC against the aerial target. On a fail. success. The fighter is knocked from the opponent. The opponent is knocked from the air. And the fighter gains momentum. On a fail, the fighter is considered exposed. And they will be taking a bunch of damage, which is bad. For your health, mostly. Is there anything else that I need to consider? Let's see. Throws, crazy moves. Mostly was just the air dash, airborne, and stuff like that. Which is fairly important to, consult. Actually, we'll call it the air dash. What other important parts of anime moves? Nothing in the top of my head. But what I will do is anime fighters. Enemy fighters new, distinct by anime influence. Consider the following actions. Dash defense. The fighter immediately attempt to dash out. Immediately attempts to move 2 hexes in any direction. If they make a successful dodge OC with a +2 with an opposing +2. So it's pretty much a bash. It's harder for you to do it, but if you succeed, you can just dash out of the way and get away from danger a lot easier because, again, it's speed, mostly. Like, that's the big thing with any anime fighter you'll notice, is that it's a lot of speed is the issue, and going fast is very valuable. Even things like Guilty Gear, people are fucking flying around and doing crazy shit. So you have to account for that. Okay, let's see. What else are we dealing with here? Slap in a few pictures here. Alright. I think that's it. There's probably some more. What I'll probably end up doing is making a few sample styles, but I want to... Dealing how that's just going to be a lot of me sitting here being less like, let me toy around with this number. Oh, let me toy around with this number. It's not going to be a very fun thing to watch. So I'm not going to show it. But I'm going to be using 2 different settings that I have. One me and my friend came up with. And one, which was a single word that I came from actually the last Fist of Chaos time I streamed it. Not last time, but the first time we developed, which was the Western one with mostly specifically hunting rifle style, which is all about doing big hits with your fist, or 6-shooter style. I don't know which one I want to do yet. The other one being me and my friend came up with a setting, and the entire idea was what happened if the Earth flooded, and it was like, oh. No, what if the Earth flooded because we discovered something in the Mariana Trench, and he actually run a one-shot with it. We were in a magic sub. It was awesome. Fun times. I actually really enjoyed that one shot. I played stupid, sexy German science man, who was stupid and science man. But yeah, no, kind of exploring that could be interesting. And the entire idea of it was, hey, okay, the Earth is flooded. Most land masses are gone. So people are everyone's kind of living on like these little trash islands or kind of these very man-made looking islands. And since metal is so valuable, everyone's kind of having to resort to going back to martial arts. Hence why probably do that, probably do some kind of carrier style or something like that. Because hey, living on an aircraft carrier when having a good navy, and this was good. So yeah, no, that might be fun. But let's take a look. Let's see what we've done so far. Word count 8,491. Let's go back to our original copy. Seems so long ago. Word count. Oh god, it's chugging. It's like, no, please stop. There we go. So it looks like we got about 11 new pages in and about a solid 1,000 new words in. However, the big differences here is that in the original draft, this was a mess. This was just a terrible, terrible mess full of sad things that we don't talk about. And things like this. While here, we scrapped a lot of the tables and added more tables in because God bless us, we can't get rid of them. And also, I forgot Tekken 7 quite literally has the Prime Minister of Poland show up to beat the shit out of some people. God bless Tekken lore. But every single time, I do not know why it is this table in particular does not like. I think it has something to do with these two. Maybe if I get rid of the margin, that might help. But yep. Poison. It has to be this. Kind of shrink poison down a little bit. 0 margin. Can I get away with making this just a little bit bigger? Because okay. But we have reached conclusion. We have reached concordance. So, what are my thoughts? What's the gist with Fist of Chaos? Fist of Chaos was a weird game, and I had to learn a lot from it in more ways than one. And the simple reason why is because it had a very different approach to things. It's the stamina-based combat system was, oh boy, not fun to deal with at all. Mostly just because it's such a different approach to how you would traditionally do fighting game stuff. Or not fighting game stuff, how you would do combat in the game. Because it's character 1 goes until they say they don't want to go anymore. Then it's initiative again, who goes, who doesn't. So it's just that basic change in how fighting occurs really kind of threw me for a loop at first when I was writing this, but I think I got it. Also learned a lot about fighting games. Do you know how many goddamn terms there are in fighting games? A lot of fucking terms, and I don't want to put them all in. This is not a faithful recreation of fighting games at all. This is how people are seeing the fighting game. I think that's the best way I can kind of word Fist of Chaos. This is how people in world see the fighting game, while we, the players, are seeing, yes, he's going to perform an Oki into a meaty, but don't worry, he's got a command grab cancel who's going to be doing his Rekka Infinite Lamau. Don't know what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to get my phone to actually charge. But I think learning about it was interesting. Learning about it was fun, actually, because there's so much fighting game stuff out there. And every part of the fighting game community has so much passion for it. So, overall, I think this was an interesting project. Will it be used for other things? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I did muse before that if I wanted to do more with the system, it would be based around different types of fighting games, different types of fighting genres. This would be the launch point for the Guilty Gear game. This would be the launch point for the Skullgirls. Actually, Skullgirls game I would do something completely fucking different, but I digress. This would be the launching point for other games, just because of how broad it is. Because people think fighting game and they kind of immediately default like Street Fighter. But you have Street Fighter, Tekken, Samurai Showdown, you have King of Fighters, you have Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, and all these different fighting games that have wildly different concepts, wildly different ideas, but are all fighting games. It would be like calling StarCraft 2 the exact same thing as Warcraft 3. It's completely different. They look the same, they act the same. Actually, they don't look the same at all, but they act the same. Like, oh, it's an RTS, it'll be easy. Not so fucking absolutely not. That there are different assumptions, different ideas, and even more wildly, planetary annihilation in StarCraft 2. Different ideas, different concepts, different strategies. It was interesting though. So kind of going off that idea, I think I could probably do different things. And a full-on anime fighter, oh god, that would be a pain in the ass. But could I do it? Yes, of course I could do it. But do I want to do it? Not really, because then I'd have to watch more Guilty Gear. And I like Guilty Gear. I like watching it. Oh boy, that shit's wiggity whack. That stuff is hard to follow. I'm like, things are flying around, people are getting punched, and someone pulled out a super ultimate tension burster. Like, the fuck is this? But what's on schedule now? So Saturday, we're not going to be doing anything this weekend. Next week, I actually might, if I can get together a few different things, and we might be doing another Curious Case, actually, because those do very well, actually. Outside of that, we can do next week, next Monday, that is. Actually, tomorrow we might do, I don't know, depending on how I'm feeling, we might do Inchling tomorrow, Project Inchling tomorrow, just because Inchling is going to be one, it's going to be a single episode, just because there's not actually that much to fix. It's just a lot of little patchwork. So, like Fist of Chaos, solid 5 episodes. We did technically four, but we don't talk about that. It's Project Inchling is just editing, really. That's all it is. It's just going to be me having to edit things, and it's going to be a lot of me sitting down, saying, "All right, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns." It's going to be fine. It's going to be fun. But once Inchling is done, we get to work on Endless Adventure. Endless Adventure is exactly what you think it's going to be about. It is going to be about the Endless franchise, specifically Endless Legend and Endless Space 2. That one's going to be a bit of an interesting one, because I originally Slaves to Chaos. Fun fact: Slaves to Chaos was in fact it was kind of a test bed to see if my ideas worked, and it did. A little bit complicated, so I'll be simplifying some of the ideas of Slaves to Chaos down, but the ideas are present and they work, mostly when it comes to racial creation, which was the big idea. I have all the parts of it work. What I need to do mostly at this point is yell at the studio who does it. The studio. I can see them right now. Amplitude. I need to yell at Amplitude and plug around on lore sites and stuff, just to give lore, please. Notepad need lore, just to flesh as much as I can out. So that might be this weekend as well, depending on how, if I feel or feel I don't feel like actually dealing with Project Inchling. Because if I ignore my problems, they go away eventually. Outside of that, after that, if things go according to plan, we can probably wrap up Endless Adventures by the end of the month. Then we get to move on to Road Redemption, Red Mist Running, which is going to be a weird one. I have few ideas of how to do it, very few, but it's going to be a weird one, I can tell you that much. Then we get to go up to Democracy again. The Democracy will require blood. Remember that. But once Democracy is done, we get to see our next assortment of games, actually, that we're going to be working on. I have a few ideas of what's probably going to be selected and what probably isn't going to be selected, but again, I've been surprised more than once with Democracy, because Democracy is terrifying. So, thank you all for watching. Godspeed, good luck. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Goodbye.